where Constable Wendell Jonathan is testifying on his version of events at the For Meyiwa murder trial. Jonathan escorted both accused number 1 Muzisbiya and number 2 Manqoba when their confessions were made. He has also been accused of allegedly being one of the policemen who assaulted and tortured them into making those statements. Our reporter Manqoba Mchunu is following court proceedings, and he joins us now live from the capital. So Manqoba, what has been the response from the constable on allegations that he participated in this alleged assault?
Well, Masiho Constable Jonathan disputing some of the evidence that has been led by the defense. So they've put the version of accused number 1 and 2 to him according to what had happened when they had made those confessions before police. So we started with accused number 2, Manqoba, who maintains that he was assaulted, he was suffocated and also electrocuted, and he says this all happened in the presence of Constable Jonathan, who was also part of the policemen that had conducted this particular torture on the accused. He says that he was taken to 2 areas. You recall that Manqoba had made 2 of those confessions. The first one was on the 19th of June in 2020, and that was before a police officer who also took the stand last week, Colonel Solomon Rapadu. The second one was before Magistrate Vivian Cronje, who also testified in court. And he says on both those occasions he had been assaulted prior to him being forced to then sign prepared documents. But take a listen to what came out in court.
Between yourself, you can't recall, between yourself and Mabena, there's a person who poured him with water. He had a container and poured the accused with water from his front part of the body.
I have no knowledge of that, my lord.
That's when Brigadier Kininda told accused number 2 that he must tell the truth about the death of Senzumi.
I have no knowledge of that, my lord.
And during the course of that, a plastic bag was also put on his face, or on covering his head and his face, where this chopping continued.
My lord, the first time I met the suspect was at Moroka SAPS, my lord.
There was a device that was used to electrocute the accused person. He was electrocuted from his stomach. You, Mr. Mabena, and Buthelezi were exchanging during the use of this device.
I have no knowledge of that, my lord.
So that was his explanation of the allegations made by accused number 2, Manqoba. Another accused made the same allegations, accused number 1, Muzisbiya. What did he say about that?
So recall, Masiho, that Constable Jonathan was involved in escorting both accused, that's accused number 1 and 2, into making those statements. So he was involved as far as accused number 2, both his confessions. He was actually part of the police or Metro Police officers from the Ekurhuleni Metro Police Department that had escorted accused number 2. So his involvement as far as accused number 1 is when he was then escorting accused number 1 to a point out that had taken place just 5 days after his arrest. That was on the 5th of June in 2020, and he claims that he too was assaulted severely by police into making that particular pointing out statement. He says the assault started just after he had been arrested, and this is when then it continued. They took him to a place in Vosloorus next to a municipal building where more of that torture had happened. Take a listen.
He was beaten, he was choked with a plastic bag and asked to tell the truth about the death of Senzumi. My instruction is that he was asked as to who was with at the time Senzo was killed. He denied that. He said no, he has no knowledge even now. He denied his involvement in the death of Senzo Meyiwa.
Waphika ngaleso sikhathi wathi akanalwazi namanje usaqhubeka uyaphika ukuthi akanalwazi lokuthi wabulawa ubani uSenzo Meyiwa.
Do you know anything about that?
Khona ulwazi ngalokho?
No, my lord.
All right, Manqoba Mchunu live for us inside the High Court in Pretoria with that report. We'll catch up with him a little later on. And of course, just to remind you, we do have the Senzo Meyiwa murder trial on our eNCA.com website. It stays there throughout the trial. So for those of you who've missed it and would like to catch up when you get home, you can definitely go on eNCA.com to catch up on what happened throughout the course of the day.